Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. In today's video we're going to talk about 5 of the most anticipated features coming soon to DayZ. Now keep in mind, as far as features are concerned, this is just the tip of the iceberg. There are many more that won't be mentioned in this video, as well as existing features that are going to be expanded on. Our top 5 list here is in no particular order, so let's get started. And in at number 5 we have upcoming vehicles. As of the time of publishing this video, additional vehicles being added to DayZ has been put on hold, pending much needed vehicle performance improvements. But that doesn't mean we don't know some of the vehicles on their way, and a lot of the community are very excited. One of my personal upcoming favourites is the dirt bike. I remember finding one of these in Arma 2 or DayZ mod and tearing up the countryside. I can't wait to get my motocross helmet on that we've seen in 6.0, find one of these bad boys, and go off-roading in style. If the dirt bike's going to be too quick for you, why not try the bicycle, which comes fully equipped with a state-of-the-art bell. Of course, I couldn't forget the little bird. This is going to be one of the most sought-after vehicles coming to DayZ, and one of the hardest to obtain. I remember back in vanilla DayZ mod, one Huey spawning, the struggle for you and your squad to find it, and most of the time there'll be a seemingly endless battle to see who will be the first one that gets to the chopper. And with how DayZ's heading now, there are going to be more parts we're going to need to find. We're going to need tools, and we're going to need a hell of a lot of bullets. Oh, and check out my epic flying skills with a little bird in Arma 2. Nailed it! Other than the 3 vehicles I've just mentioned, we do know that there's a Humvee being worked on, a plane, and a good chance of a couple more. Personally, I'm looking forward to the Hilux pickup truck. That was one of my favourites from Arma 2 DayZ mod, so if there's any devs out there listening, make it so. And at number 4 we have player controller and player animations. Now we don't know too much about the player controller except for it's going to make the playability a lot smoother and enjoyable. And I decided to add animations to this section of the video because I'd guess player controller and animations would technically go hand in hand, as some of the animations will play a big part in how the player's character controls. So on top of the new player controller making playability even better, we're also going to have new animations which are going to make things harder. Say for instance the animations for broken limbs. You're going to be limping along and probably having a bit of a head bob in first person that you wouldn't normally have if you were a perfectly healthy survivor, as well as making your player controls themselves a little bit more sluggish to give you a bit of feedback and reaction from what is actually happening to your character. But on the plus side with animations and player controller, we're going to have the ability to be able to walk and eat and drink, as well as do our emotes like wave and of course flip somebody the bird. We've also been made aware of fall animations, so your character could land correctly rather than landing like a plank and snapping his legs, resulting in instant death. So all in all, I think the player controller and the new animations will make for a much more authentic experience and help to drag you into the ever-improving atmosphere of DayZ. And in at number 3 we have predatory animals. Of course we already know that one of the goals for 6.1 are the wolves for testing on experimental branch. And this is one of those things I could see many interesting and extremely funny videos coming from you lovely folk in the community. Imagine a scene just like the developer video, where the survivor is hunting deer to survive, but suddenly a pack of wolves is attracted to your location and food is the least of your worries. Now switch things up, add an enemy squad of survivors instead of deer. You're pinned down under fire on the edge of the tree line, either solo or with your friends. You could either wait it out and hope the wolves take care of your problem. Of course the wolves could be coming after you and not your enemy. So what would you do? Let me know in the comments below. Of course it's not only wolves we'll have to worry about in the future, there's also been mention of bears in the past. I don't know about you, but if I knew there was a bear roaming out there somewhere, I wouldn't go down to the woods today. Seriously, who writes this stuff? And in at number 2 we have base building. This is something we've all been looking forward to for a long time, and as members of the community have gone through the game files, we found some very interesting components that we'll be able to use towards building our future base. From items like storage boxes to wall panels and doors, to camo netting, barbed wire, watchtowers, extension cables, and battery chargers. Base building will obviously be much more in depth than we see here, but as mentioned in previous status reports, we'll be able to hook up batteries to said barbed wire and create electrified fences. Not only will intruders shred their favourite military pants, but they'll also have an electrifying time doing it. Not only will we have to worry about finding components and tools to build our epic fortifications, we're also going to have to find a prime location to build said base. Will you build on the hilltop? Will you build in the trees? Will you sacrifice location for farming land and a water source? Let me know in the comments below. And in at number 1, of course, is community modding. And as an example, I use footage from Arma 3's modding community and the mods they've made. As you can be sure, most of these mod creators will make a move over to DayZ Standalone and see what it offers. From the get-go with DayZ and modding when it's available, we're going to have a much more varied foundation to work with. So when modders start porting over or creating new vehicles or weapons that will take advantage of the attachment system, we're most likely going to see some awesome content coming our way. That's not to mention the maps. Of course, the recordings I've got in the background right now are on Namelsk Arma 3, which we do know is being ported by the original creator of Namelsk to DayZ as we speak. And Namelsk is one of many maps created for Arma 2 and Arma 3. How easy these maps will be to port over is yet to be seen with the new DayZ modding toolset. But then there will also be the possibility of completely original maps by map creators, utilizing all the other features that the new tech for DayZ will allow. For those of you who haven't looked into Arma 3 modding and taken a look at the Arma 3 workshop, there are literally thousands of mods on there, from custom vehicles as shown on screen now, to weapons, to game modes, and of course, plenty of maps. Some of my personal favourites were Namelsk, which we do know is already coming to DayZ at some point. Taviana was always one of my favourites, large, that big bridge with all those gunfights that were bound to happen, Panthera, and many more. And of course, we gotta talk about the game modes or mission files that people create like Wasteland, Exile, Breaking Point, Desolation, Arma Life, World War I and World War II mods that have been made in the past for Arma 2 and Arma 3. And of course we can't forget Battle Royale and Bohemia's very own Survivor games. Once those mod creators move over to DayZ with the new toolset once available, I'm sure we'll see some amazing content coming through, and I will be one of those to be testing and making videos just for you guys to see what is the best the community has to offer. Of course, there's many more features coming to DayZ that I haven't covered, as a lot of features already in DayZ are still work in progress in their first iterations. Hunting will be expanded on greatly, as well as fishing, crafting, cooking, and let's not forget all the upcoming weapons we've been teased with over the last few months, like the M249, the Scout Sniper Rifle, the Desert Eagle, the Compound Bow, and many more. So let me know in the comments below, what are you most looking forward to in future development for DayZ, or that is currently already in DayZ, but you can't wait till it's expanded further. We will be taking a closer look at the modding tools and mods in general when they're available. Remember to lick that like button as it helps the channel out a lot. Subscribe if you're feeling frisky, and I'll see you peeps next time. That went slightly better than I thought. Oh god! Oh god! There was a third! Oh my god.